soul is stuck between dark and the light. It's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life, made a bag that was bigger than theirs. I win and I lose and I win and again. I can see why they think that's unfair. We putting the work and we making the beds. To be honest, I don't really share. You rolling with hitters, I don't understand. You killing good people, that wasn't the plan. Round up the game, come get your mans. He's selling his soul for a couple of
What's
bands.
good, Beaches? Welcome to the Slamcast. What up, host?
This is all in my land, cause I've been through hell. Then I came back, that's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzzing in. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin. All these problems start to pile in. All these peasants turn to violence. Two-faced, thought you had a twin. I just wanna win on the low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no. I just wanna win on the low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no.
Yep. Hey. I know you're gonna be your fat. Well, maybe you are. Maybe you aren't. I've done a lot of content that's right. What's up, Danny? Fallen Angel UK, what up? Good shit. Yoko, good for you. What's up, Sharon? Welcome. Got my cardio by playing tag with my ferrets. Ferrets are vicious little bitches. They fight like motherfuckers. I don't know if yours fight. We used to have a ferret bit like a son of a bitch. The ferret sucked.
Yeah, if I see it, I cop it. Running through stores, if I see it, I rock it. Yeah, girl, if you see it, I got it. Run it up more, we need all the profit. 100 racks back up in summer 16. Spent that whole bag on the whole
Mama Swole, Grandmama Swole.
Avril Lavigne. Copped a new condo to blow off some steam. All these rappers just rapping in triplets. Pushing that product, just got a new shipment. Pushing that road 50
we do the music whenever I can. Whenever we don't have a guest on or
at the top and we throwing the game. All of these peasants will know of my name. All of these blessings, we staying the same. The drip is fluorescent, I'm going insane. Royal genetics all up in my veins. Back me a real one and gave her my name. All of these issues, but no one to blame. Praying that God will just show me the way. Changing the game, got the source code, and I'm off-road, and my horses go skirt. One in the same day, of course, no, we in first, yo, all my niggas, we were. Fake in the fame, but we all know.
They look cute. They're vicious. Get the fuck out of here. Ferrets bite. Ferrets bite.
Y'all just popping them perks.
Maybe yours don't.
Got a few shows
you got good ferrets.
No, it's a cloud in the dirt.
Little
I am the king
rats.
and it's my throne. Y'all are kind though. They can call me
Be at the top if I see it, I cop it. All this guap
just
if I see
kidding.
it, I
I'm
cop
just
it.
kidding.
Got
No, I'm not
some
kidding.
If I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip if I see it, I cop
Fuckers.
it. Need a new grip if I see it, I cop it. Lots of shrimp if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid if I see it, I cop it. We at the top if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip if I see it, I cop it.
Thank you, Meredith. Some people didn't think so. We're going to address that issue. Always looking to improve, but I want to make something clear. But thank you. I appreciate it. If you liked it, if you liked yesterday's episode, make sure you drop in the comments below. Bridget, about to do a mobility session. Last of the primer week. Good for you, girl. Kleptomaniacs. Ha. You got little hands. Tiny little hands. Tiny little hands. Nah, we'll talk about it, Meredith. I understand. I don't think it was, Oh, I'm not fucking woke. Get the fuck out of here. Don't call me that. I ain't woke as anything. I'm swoke. Ooh, I like that. I'm swoke. No, I hate that fucking woke bullshit. I'm not righteous. Don't associate me with those fucking psychos. If I see it, I cop it, I see it, I see it. But they can suck the D, that's for sure. They can suck the D. We knew that, though. We knew that already. I'm swoke as fuck. Swoke as fuck. Yeah. I see your gains. I see your gains, baby. Oh. I see your gains, baby. I see your gains, baby. All right, here we go. 1170. You fucking savages. Let's do this.
Mafia up on the north side, yeah, I see you. My blood fam is spitting wild, I wanna see you. My main girl, I thank God I get to see you.
Alright, here we go, fam.
Let's post up, need to see you. To my baby girls, I promise daddy always see you. You all in, well bet, yeah, I'ma see you.
Alright, 1170, let's do it.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, 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 testicles, a testing, a testicles, a testicles, a testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1170 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches? Welcome to the Swolecast. Welcome to episode 1170 of the Sleaze. Thank you so much for being here live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, Twitch, everywhere, every which way. It's your boy, it's Daddy Swolio, and I'm here to drop some fucking nuts on your face. Nuts on your face. Nuts on your face. Nuts on your face? Nuts on your chin? I'll put the nuts anywhere. I think I will. I don't think I need to be pigeonholed into where I put my fucking nuts. I will put my nuts wherever I please. I'll put my nuts wherever I please, motherfuckers. Happy Saturday. How we doing? What's going on Instagram? What's a good word? So let's jump right into today's episode 1170. Yesterday was a massive holy fucking Friday night. So one of my closest friends, Casey, was on the show yesterday. And I'm going to clarify a couple things. I posted this on my Instagram story. And strangely enough, yesterday's episode got like I got like 5 thumbs down on YouTube, and I got a little bit of like some pushback on yesterday's episode. So I want to discuss this because I think a lot of you, or I think some of you, misinterpreted the episode. And he's one of my close friends, and some of you thought that it was a promo. Some of you thought yesterday was a promotion, was a promo episode, too much promotion, because I talk about cooking your own food, and then I was talking about him. He had a meal plan company here in South Florida. And I was I understand that maybe the way the episode started was kind of like, oh, tell me about your business and tell us about this. It was more for you to get to know him. He's been on the podcast before, by the way, so it's not like the first time. But like the second half, at least the second half, was really deep in the weeds and rabbit hole. It was great. It was a great conversation. And we talked for about an hour before the podcast and an hour after the podcast. And to be honest, because I take everything personally, because I take this is my show. This is what I fucking do. This is kind of, it really got under my skin, the fact that some of you thought that it was a promotion. Now, I don't do any sponsors explicitly for the same, I say it over and over again, I don't do sponsorships. There has been not one single fucking company or one person, one guest that has ever offered to come on the podcast, that I've allowed on the podcast, that has wanted to push a product. And that's what I stand for. I don't even accept donations through fucking Patreon because I don't want anyone in the middle of you and me. So for those of you that are part of the Daily Swole Club, thank you. You all help support the podcast. And of course, the Swolenormous X members, both of you, some of you do both. Some of you are Swolenormous X members, and some of you also support the podcast via the Daily Swole Club. I don't even want Patreon getting involved. I don't want any middle person. I don't do any ads on my show. I only talk about my own stuff, and I only talk about what we do here in the podcast. So if I'm going to have a guest on, if I'm going to have a fucking guest on, the fucking guest is going to talk about what they do. How fucking weird would that be? Oh, here, I'm talking to this person. Who is he? I don't fucking know. Well, let's talk about fitness. He has to talk about what he does. And if you actually listen to the podcast, if you actually have fucking ears and you pay attention, you would know that the interesting aspect of it is our similarities. That's why we get along so well, because he entered. Think of how saturated the market is for nutrition. Think of how saturated the meal preparation service industry is. It's the same thing that I went into. So he's been in business for like 6 years. I've been in business for 3 with Swole. Think about how saturated the fitness industry was when I started. But I started with what I had. So today's episode, what you have, or start with what you have. Like literally, what do you have? Getting started with what you have. What do you have to start with? This can apply to fitness. This can apply to business. This can apply to everything. I know it's a great podcast. I mean, some of you that are commenting, I agree. I think it was a great podcast. And overwhelmingly, I've gotten amazing feedback on it. So thank you, Everett. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know, Jessica. Did people think you were promoting Every Damn Day Fitness when you talk to Alan? Look, when I have a guest on, the guest is going to talk about what they do. Now, I'm not going to sit there and berate him and be like, oh, I think you should be making your own food. I don't think meal preparation services are good. That's not for me to decide. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But it's anything but a promotion, considering his company only delivers in the South Florida area. So it's not like, hey, you can buy these shirts or buy this supplement or buy this stuff. So I'm not going to have anyone on. I've had hundreds of people contacting me about being on the podcast. And I look at them and, oh, they push like this omega-3 and CBD and all this. So I'm like, I'm not promoting your supplement. Not that it doesn't work or not that it can't help people. It's just not something that I want to do. I'll talk about fitness. I'll talk about stuff. You can kind of discuss maybe kind of what you do, but I get offers, and it's really, you can tell it's like a sales pitch. They want to come on and talk about their product and talk about how amazing it is. And I'm like, that doesn't give me any value. That doesn't help you all out, because I don't want you getting stuff shoved down your fucking throat. You see enough advertisements. You see enough things that you don't need. You get enough bullshit. I don't want to peddle bullshit. And when it comes to meal preparation, let me clarify this again. I think that everyone should cook their own food. I do think that. I think everyone should cook their own food. I think everyone should prepare their own food. I think every single person should invest their time. However, the audience in which he serves and like the people that are going to be, like he said, lawyers. They're not people that are trying to lose 500 fucking pounds. Of course, he has the crazy clean menu where they just add heat. So if you miss that part, it's fucking super clean. And some people literally, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but some people really don't have time. They really don't have time, or they have really minimal time. And if they have minimal time and can't afford it, then they have to fucking figure it out. If they're lawyers or something or doctors and they don't have time, quote unquote, they could prioritize, but they're not going to. Do I want someone to be obese and sickly and unhealthy or get on a fucking meal plan? I'd rather someone do Weight Watchers rather than eat McDonald's. I'd rather someone do like any kind of meal plan that's going to be a step up. Anything leveling up is better. Better is better, no matter what that looks like. So yeah, I don't want to be that person where I don't want to be the person where we do a podcast and you don't know where I stand. That's what I don't like about things like Joe Rogan's podcast. That's what I don't like about things with anyone's podcast. Everyone runs tons of fucking ads, and I get it. People need to make money, and it's not free. Those of you that think that a podcast is free, you have no idea what it takes to put in some kind of a production for a podcast. Now, can you do a podcast from your phone? Yeah, but it's going to be shitty quality. You're not going to be doing like streaming. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But if you're running ads in front, how do you know what's legit and what's not? How do you know what that person, that host's opinion really is? Because they're getting paid. Now, I think Joe Rogan, for example, is one of those anomalies in the sense that he doesn't necessarily pander to his sponsors. He says whatever he wants and thinks, and okay, he kind of has his little niche, and he's built that trust over a long time, like 8 or 10 years of doing his podcast. So that's kind of one of the ones that you're just kind of used to the way he does things. But anytime someone promotes a supplement in their Instagram profile, like, hey, save 10% on this and save 15% on this and use my coupon code for a reach around and all that shit. How do you trust anything that they're saying? Because they have someone pulling the strings. Someone is giving them money to promote these things. Everyone that's with their BCAAs and look at my aminos and they're in the gym with like a fucking jug of protein. They're lifting weights and the protein is right there. Who the fuck brings a jug of protein to the gym? Who the fuck brings their actual container of BCAAs into the gym? Maybe it's in your gym bag, but you're not bringing that in and putting it on the fucking bench, you assholes. So how can you trust that person? How can you trust the legitimacy of what they're promoting? You can't. You can't. There's always this kind of like haze and film of like, I don't really trust this person. I don't really know if they're being authentic and legit. So fuck all of you. And I also love all of you. So those of you, and some of, it stung a little bit because that's the last thing that I make it such a point. I make it such a focus of not taking any fucking money for this. I want to provide, my free content is fucking free. My free content is free. That's it. I'll talk about my shit because it's my fucking show and I'll do what I want, but I'm not going to bring other people in that's not going to bring you value. So anyway, that whole podcast, I do recognize that perhaps when I have a guest on, we should just do more casual conversation first so you get to know them a little bit better. Not everyone's listened to all the episodes. You might not know that he's a close friend of mine and that he's been on the podcast before. So I do. I'm not perfect. We don't do a lot of guests here. So maybe I didn't build that trust with him before he started talking about his business, before he started talking about what he does. It might have seemed like, hey, this is what we do. But I want to give you some context as to why he was on the podcast. So I do understand everyone's going to be different. And I do also understand that not everyone's going to like every episode. So I just want to put that out there that I go above and beyond. And I'm not trying to fucking jerk myself off in front of you, which, I'm not going to go that route. That's a little bit strange. But I want to make it clear that I do try to go above and beyond to not take any kind of outside sponsorships to my detriment. I'm not making money. I'm not making money off this. I mean, I am with the support, but it's going right back into the live streaming, to the hosting, to the equipment. It's going into everything, which is, that's how we all grow. So I just want to put that out there. I'm not looking for sympathy. I just wanted to make that statement because this is like, that was one of the better episodes. I thought it was a great fucking episode. And it's like one of the ones that actually got some negativity on it. I was a little bit shocked by that because I think it was fucking great. So anyway, thank you for those of you that support it. And if you didn't like it, it's okay. You don't have to like it. And I don't think that you did have to like it. That's kind of a weird thing. Like, you have to like it. How come you didn't like it? But at the same time, the reason why that got under my skin. So I just want to make that clear. Would be cool to see clips from game night. Yeah, I haven't been in fucking forever. But next time I go, but at the same time, it's game night. I'm not going to be I'll probably do it in my Instagram story, but I'm not going to be fucking like doing HD video and shit like that. I think that'd be cool. But until I have someone that's full time just vlogging and filming me, a lot of you have been asking about vlogs and doing vlogs again, and that'd be great. But it's hard. It's hard to vlog. I don't know if any of you have vlogged before because it's not like you want to vlog once in a while. Anytime I do something, it's like I'm going to vlog every fucking day. And that is a little bit overkill to vlog every day. However, I almost feel like a weekly vlog or something is not really that impactful. Plus, I'm doing Instagram stories and I do Snapchat and I do the podcast. And, as the podcast is growing and as more people are coming on, the guests, like it's becoming more of a production. I just did some upgrades to my equipment and shit. And it's, I'm making sure that the podcast still stays the main focus because it's easy to get in the weeds and to get off track. But I know the podcast, it helps me and I know it helps a lot of you and helps keep everyone focused. So anyway, thank you for being here and all that good shit. You're going to have to go and check that out. What's game night? Game night is, it's game night. It's when the guys get together and play some games. Russian roulette and shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Thank you, Meredith. You go out of your way to be authentic and then you're berated for not being as such. Well, some people don't have the context. Not everyone's looking at every last thing I do. So I do have sympathy for it. At the same time, I do have the ability to voice my opinion and to give feedback on it. And that I shall, and that I did. So today's episode, what you can with what you have. There's a lot of hesitation when it comes to training. There's a lot of hesitation that some of you are using as an excuse to not take action. And actually, today's episode is kind of like a post. It's kind of like a conclusion to yesterday's episode because he started his food delivery, food prep company with very minimal capital. And I started Swolenormous with literally fucking zero. I used a phone. The first episode was with my Samsung Galaxy S6 and an old like iPad, like second generation. And I did it on the porch, and you've probably seen that episode before. And the audio, I had the fucking microphone on like a chain, like on a necklace, and it was clinking. I'm like, oh, I look at that. I'm like, oh my God, what a fucking, why would you do that, bro? Like, come on, just put this here and do this here. But I didn't know anything. However, I started the podcast with what I had. I did what I could with what I had. That's what I had. I didn't have the money for equipment. Not even that. I didn't even know what equipment to get. I had no fucking idea. Facebook barely had live streaming. Facebook barely had live streaming when I started. Periscope was the shit. Periscope was the live streaming platform. Periscope was the platform. People barely use Periscope anymore. Everyone is using Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So though a lot of those didn't even exist. So, but I started. And when it comes to your training, when it comes to whatever you're trying to do, if you're trying to create an online business, if you're trying to, Busker too. Busker went out of fucking business. I used an app for like a year or 6 months before it was just, okay, I needed to go all in. I only had so many devices and I needed to invest it in something else. I also didn't even know that my internet was archaic. My internet was like 25 gigs. Or whatever it was. It was like 25 megabytes or something. It was something super fucking slow. So it was crashing all the fucking time. It was ridiculous. I didn't even realize that. It turned out that the plan that was on for Comcast just had never been updated. And it was just, I was paying more for less service. And then all of a sudden the streaming went up and then I didn't have these interruptions. Anyway, I just didn't know anything. And for those of you that are waiting to know everything, you're waiting to have all the answers, you're going to be waiting a long fucking time, fam. You're going to be waiting a long fucking time if you're waiting for everything to be perfect. If you're waiting for everything to align, you're waiting for all the stars and everything to make sense. It's not going to fucking make sense. You're not going to have all the answers. I didn't. How do you think I started training? How do you think I started working out? You all have it so fucking easy. You have all the answers. You have fucking phones. You have me giving you all the fucking answers. You have me directing you and explaining and answering questions. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but this didn't exist in the late 90s. Internet was just getting started, and my parents were concerned when I was discussing creatine when I was first starting. Like, is that safe? Is that thing? I mean, it's like literally the safest supplement you could probably take. In terms of being dangerous, how much you need it depends on person to person and your exercise output and what your needs are. But no one knew. People thought creatine was a fucking steroid. Some of you probably remember that. The OG days were, creatine, oh my God, you're taking that? I mean, today it's like, it's fucking everywhere. You could probably buy it at a fucking gas station. And it's in drinks, right? It's in Bang Energy and these fucking things. So things have come a long way, but I didn't have that information. But I started and I learned and I just tried and I attempted and I tried things, and some things worked, some things didn't. I was fortunate that I approached my training and my fitness with the right mindset of longevity. It was always form was paramount. I never pushed it. I was never super interested in getting as strong as possible. I was, but not, the meathead classic, like I'm maxing out. How much did I bench? How much? It was about getting stronger to build more muscle. I wanted to build muscle. I wanted to get bigger. So it wasn't about the strength. It was about the strength as a component, as context to building muscle. So yeah, I mean, I used to eat Sour Patch Kids before I worked out, during, after, even up to like 2 years ago. I mean, I made excuses too. How do you think I do these episodes? How do you think I've done 1,170 fucking episodes? How do you think I've done that? Because I'm developing as a person too. I've learned where my excuses were. I've learned where my weak points were. I've learned where my gaps were in my own bullshit. You have to check yourself too. Don't act like you're fucking perfect. You got to check your own bullshit too. And some of the things I talk about now might conflict with something that I said 2 or 3 fucking years ago. And you know what I say? I say good. Things I talk about today should conflict with what I said 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Not that I'm completely off base saying things completely different, like weight training sucks. But at the same time, I've learned and developed. So some of the things I say now, I've learned. I have different opinions on things. I have different approach for certain things. There's certain things that I'm interested in now that I wasn't 2 years ago, or certain things I'm interested more in now than I wasn't 2 years ago. For a couple of years, I was just, holding my breath underwater, just living, at the computer, just doing this over and over again. I'm still doing it. However, I wasn't focusing as much on my training because I couldn't. I didn't have as much time. I didn't have as much focus on that. I'm very cerebral. If my brain is distracted with editing and uploading and this and trying to put this here and, fucking all the social media things that I juggle, I wasn't able to really put all that cerebral energy into my training. But I'm starting to find more of a balance there for my kind of balance, which is still doing this all the time, but prioritizing my own training and stuff again. So, it's like kind of give and take. It's that push-pull. It's that moving bullseye. But it's super important to see the growth. That's why I leave all those old videos up there. They're cringy as fuck. They're old as shit. And they're really crummy quality and audio and this. But that's great because that's where I started with fitness too. And that's where you're going to start. When you look back in 10 years to where you started with training, you're like, what the fuck? I couldn't do a push-up. I couldn't do that. Man, how was I such a fucking jabroni? Good. You should be. I find old lifting journals where I was super excited that I was curling 25 pounds. Now I curl 50s. It's like, all right, cool. I'm going to curl. Let me just grab the 50s. The 25s are a warm up. So my max and what I was like super stoked with, it was just a warm up now. That's a huge, that's think about that. Think about that kind of improvement. Think about that kind of difference. At one point in my life, that was just the most amazing thing. And I was so stoked that I got 8 reps with 25s for curls. And now, that's just that's barely a warm-up. I'm like, okay, I'll do some of those. I'll go to the 30s or the 40s, right? So you should be improving. And no matter where you start, you're starting with what you have. That's it. You're always starting with what you have. Some of you might have access to a lot of things. Some of you might have more money where you can buy different foods, or you can go to a better gym, or you can go and get massages, or you can go and you can purchase this and try this. Some of you have more financial freedom for that. However, you don't need financial freedom in the moment to get started with training. You don't need to have all the gear. You don't need to have all the straps and all the shoes and the bags and all the fancy memberships. What are you going to do? Just wait for that to happen? You have to start with what you have. You have to build. You have to build. That's a 100,000%, Kimberly. So yesterday, that was a great part of the conversation. And those of you that didn't finish the podcast, you missed fucking gold. You missed absolute fucking gold. And I really encourage you to go back and check it out again. He still does deliveries. He still does fucking deliveries. He still goes and does deliveries when he has people. He posts in his Instagram story like 3 a.m. doing deliveries. And he's like, he gets his fucking hands dirty. He goes back. He stays connected with that shit. Like, that's why I do what I do. That's why I still connect. That's why I still do so much of the, the editing. And I want to understand the pulse of what's going on in my private community. I want to understand what's going on. Why do you think I do the Sunday Fun Day Q&A-ness? Why do you think I do all those? Why do you think I post all the questions and all the stickers in my Instagram story? Because I want to know what you all are thinking. I want to know what topics, what things that you're interested in. I want to know what you want to learn more about. I want to know what topics you're struggling with. And if I don't know that, then my content is going to become extremely disconnected. It's going to be extremely disconnected, and it's not going to provide you any value. And then there's no point in any of us being here. So all those things that I do, it provides context. And I want to make sure that the podcast stays on point. I want to make sure the podcast still is applicable, still makes sense, still delivers as it always has. And it's going to continue to develop. It's going to continue to develop. We're going to have more people on. We're going to have more discussions and talk about more things, because guess what? This is fucking life. People develop, people change. And when you hear other people talk, and you have different contexts around the conversation, you're going to learn some shit. And some of these long form conversations, you're going to hear, and you're going to find these little fucking juicy nuggets that you're not going to get in a 30-minute rant sometimes. Sometimes you need to get slapped upside the fucking head and realize, man, I'm slacking. I'm waiting for the stars to align. I need to just get fucking started. And then sometimes, sometimes you need to sit back and listen and let the waves wash over you, kind of thing. Discipline is weakness. Discipline is weakness? No, that's Richard. What are you talking about? That's the farthest thing possible from the truth. I think you misinterpreted. Maybe motivation is weakness, but that's 1,000% incorrect. That's fucking way off. Discipline is the game, bro. Danny, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Well, you have to start if you want to get any kind of endpoint. If you want to get any kind of endpoint, if you want to get any kind of result, you're not going to get it by waiting around. You're not going to get it by hoping. You're not going to get it by wishing. You're not going to get it by writing things on a fucking vision board. You're going to get it by putting in some fucking work. You want to build muscle? Guess how you're going to build muscle? By going in the gym and lifting like a fucking animal for years. You want to build muscle? You have to go into the kitchen and make some fucking food for years. You got to fucking work. You want to lose weight? Then you better get your calories under control. You better make major overhauls with your nutrition. You better really start normalizing and resetting your food intake. Like, it's got to start right away. You have to fucking step up. No one's going to do it for you. You can't buy it. You can't buy it. Why do you think? Why do you think people don't get results? Because people don't fucking start. No one wants to work hard. No one wants to take fucking responsibility. No one wants to put effort in. Everyone wants it fucking handed to them. The only thing that should come same day, next day, 2 days is Amazon, is stuff that you buy from Walmart. Dish soap should come 2 days. Dish soap should be shipped on the fucking same day. You should get sweet potatoes in the evening, same day delivery. But you want that. Why do you think people want physical improvements? Why do you think people want to build muscle? Because people don't have it. Because it's hard. Because it's fucking hard. It's hard. Changing your habits is hard. That's the skill. Building new habits, but also breaking bad ones. That's fucking hard. I struggle with certain ones, and you will always struggle with certain ones. And that's where meditation, that's where relentless consistency, no matter whether you fucking feel like it or not, is important. And that's going to look different for each of you. Some of you, it's going to look one way. Some of you, it's going to look a different way. It's not going to look the same for every single fucking person. Your nutrition is not going to look the same as mine. Your gym schedule is not going to look the same as mine. Nor should it. Nor should it. There's no possible way. There's no situation where your nutrition and your training program should look exactly like mine, because you're not me. You don't have my experience. You don't have my current goals, of which for me, it's just kind of getting to the fucking gym and doing the best that I can, and getting consistent again, because I just had a couple little setbacks, but now things have settled, and when I'm traveling, it just makes things harder. Just like it's hard for me, just like it's hard for you. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Nothing gets easier. It's always a challenge. It's always a challenge to make time to go to the gym. It's always a challenge to make time to make your food. It's always a fucking challenge. You know what changes? Your experience with that challenge. Your experience and how used to that challenge you are. It doesn't change. If you go to the gym every day for a year, does that mean on day 364, you drove a different route to the gym? You took a big detour and you drove 10 miles instead of 1 or 1 mile for the whole 363 fucking days. You drove 10 miles, but on the 364th, you're like, I'm going to drive straight to the gym this time. I'm going to make it easier. No, you're going to go to the fucking gym and do the same thing that you did the other 363 days. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how the game is played. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's the same. It's your perception. It's the habit. When you've done something for a year straight, it's going to seem easier because you're used to doing it. How many of you have taken a new job, or maybe something in your schedule you started having to drive, let's say, your kids to some kind of practice that maybe was half an hour away, like a sports team or a sports game or something like that, where when you first drive there, it feels like it takes forever because you don't know where you're going. It's all new things. It's all stimulating. You're noticing every tree and every car and every street light. You're like, oh shit, this is new. When you drive it every day, that half an hour trip feels like 5 minutes. You just kind of zone out and you just get used to it. You get used to the journey. It's the same thing. It doesn't mean that you're driving a shorter distance. It doesn't mean that it takes you any less time unless you find a shorter route to get there. But you know what I'm saying? It's going to take you the same. If it's 50 miles away, it's going to be 50 miles away now, and it's going to be 50 miles away 10 years from now. The only thing that changes is your perception of the actual journey of getting in the car and driving there. You just kind of zone out. You'll listen to a fucking podcast and you just lock in. And that's exactly how it is. Me going to the gym and Joe Jabroni going to the gym, we're both still going to the gym. For me, it's just a habit. This is literally what I fucking do. I've been going to the gym for 20 fucking years. Longer, actually. But literally, I kind of say 20 years because that's when I really started taking it seriously. But that's like, it's no different. I'm going to go to the gym today. It's no different than when I went yesterday. It's no different than I went 10 years ago. It's going to the gym. What I'm doing might change. What I ate before might change. My other responsibilities and things I'm trying to do or things that are in my brain are different now than they were 5 years ago. But I'm still going to the gym. I'm still going to go fucking lift. I'm still going to do what I can with what I have. I'm always going to fucking do what I can with what I have. And if you're always doing what you can with what you have, you're always going to fucking win. How many of you caught the podcasts, not yesterday, but the ones a couple days before when I was out of town, right? One of them was choppy. I was trying to do it from my laptop. One of them was decent, right? One of them was kind of choppy. It kind of skipped a little bit with the stream. I apologize for that. And then I did another one. I figured it out. I just did it every day. I did what I could with what I had. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I figure something out. Sometimes I don't. Still doing it every day. You still got the audio. I'm still learning my shit. I'm still learning what works best for me. I'm still learning day by day. And it's never going to be perfect, nor should it. However, I'm still going to do what I can with what I have. Still going to always do what I can with what I have. And that's literally what consistency is all about. That's literally what consistency is all about. You just do what you can with what you have. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not willing to get results. You don't really want what you say you want if you're not willing to do, if you're not willing to do what you can with what you have, because that's all you ever have. What equipment do you have? What food do you fucking have? What time do you fucking have? Those of you that are in Swolenormous X, why do you think I created Swole in 7? Why do you think I created that section where you can get a 7-minute workout in? Because there's no fucking reason that you don't have 7 fucking minutes to train. There's no reason why there's no way you don't have 7 minutes to do mobility. There's no fucking way. The Swolga classes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. You don't have an hour for yoga? I got you. 20, 25, 30-minute yoga classes. You got an hour? I got you. Go to the yoga studio. Fucking 60-minute classes. You only got 7 minutes? Oh shit, I wish you could work out. Oh wait, you can work out today, motherfucker. You go to the Swollen 7, you do your mobility. No excuses. There's always time to do something. There's always time to do something. You can always do something. You always have the ability to do something. You can always do something with what you have. You always got it. You got something. If you have a body, you have a pulse, especially if you have a fucking phone and you're watching this bearded lunatic jabber on right now on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, you have more than enough information at your fingertips. However, information is not going to get you fucking results. You have to take action. So instead of pussyfooting around starting and wishing that it was better and wishing that you had all the answers, no one has the fucking answers. No one has the answers. We don't even know what we're doing on this earth. We don't have to go too far into the weeds with philosophy and extraterrestrials and shit like that and space travel. But think about that. We have no fucking idea. The smartest people in the world have no fucking idea what's going on. So when you micronize that and you bring it down to that atomic level, which is us, let's say the entire world, and we have us as individuals, we don't fucking know. Like, how are you supposed to find an answer? Why do you think there's so much information? Why do you think when you look up nutrition, there's a million different options and a million different ideas and a million different groups and vegans and carnivores and this? Because no one fucking knows. Come on, man. No one fucking knows the best way. There is no best way. Some people work better with certain things. Some people like high fat. Some people like vegan. Some people like carnivore. Why? I don't know, but obviously they fucking do. That's why there are a lot of people in those groups and a lot of people that say they have success. You're going to tell someone that they don't have success when you look at them and everything checks out and they feel great and they say, it's like, okay, I guess it fucking works. Again, it comes back to literally our approach. It comes back to our approach. We talk about the elimination. It's like, start there. Start with the elimination diet. And if it takes, start with the elimination. If it takes you down the rabbit hole to veganism, then like if it works for you, you're going to fucking love it. You're going to love being a vegan. If you fucking feel great, you're going to love it. If it takes you down the road to being a carnivore and you feel fucking great, you're going to fucking love it. The whole point is you need to have a starting point that takes you in the direction that's optimal for you. Don't just start in all these different groups because that's not the best place to start. That's not the best way to start. It's going to shock the fuck out of your body and you're going to feel like shit and you're not going to stick to it. You need to figure out which method is going to help you adhere to it the most. Consistency. Which method of eating is going to help you be the most consistent? Which method of eating is going to help you get it done every day? If you can't stick to it, you're not going to get results. Even if it's the best diet, the best program, the best everything, you're not going to get great results. Lady Big Mac on Instagram, feel fucking fantastic being a carnivore. Do we have any carnivores watching? Are you? I guess you do. You are a carnivore. I'd love to have someone talk about that shit because I've never done it. I love grass-fed beef and I love, wild game and bone broth and stuff, but full carnivore, good. I don't know, man. But a lot of people say they feel great. It's just a really hardcore elimination. What is vibrating? Why am I getting all these? Is that my phone over here? Oh, that might be this one. Might be this one. So, do any of you? Let's close out this episode. What are you all doing right now for nutrition? How many of you are any of you vegans? Or any of you carnivores? Do any of you do paleo? Do any of you put yourself? I just don't like those names. I say them because everyone kind of knows generally what they are, but I don't like those buzzwords. I like you to customize it a little bit more. You don't have to be put in a box. When you say paleo, we all have this idea. It's like, oh, what paleo is. You get this prejudice about paleo. When you say vegan, oh, you're a fucking vegan. You're a psycho. No, there are great people that are fucking vegans. They're assholes. They're assholes in this world. Some people are just fucking dicks. Vegan or carnivore or paleo, some people are just cocksuckers. So you have cocksucking vegans and you have cocksucking carnivores. Some people are just dickholes. It has nothing to do with their diet. Some people just want to be right. Some people want to be right so bad that they're scared. They're scared to death of being wrong, so they take more of an aggressive approach. They are so afraid that they're that they're incorrect that they actually dig in more and they actually are more violent against other people, like militant type vegans and stuff. I am plant-based. I don't eat animal products. Well, that means that you are a vegan. That's not plant-based. I hate that fucking phrase. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate plant-based. It doesn't mean anything. What does that fucking mean? Are you a vegetarian or are you a vegan? And this is nothing against you, Ren Farrell on YouTube. It's just vague. Plant-based? No. Are you vegan? If you don't eat animal products, you're a vegan. Straight up. You just don't want to call yourself a vegan. See, plant-based is PC vegan. Saying you're plant-based, that's like a politically correct way of saying I'm a vegan, but don't put me in the corner with those fucking psychos. But I do understand there are different. Look, they're all different, like little subsects. Of course, you have the vegans that will sit outside, Animal World or Sea World and pick it, and then some people just don't want to eat meat because they don't feel good. Some people want to save the animals. So there's different ways. If you have a moral reason for it, like how do you argue that with someone? I don't want just mass like chaos and misery for animals, but at the same time, if you hunt them, I mean, it's better to hunt animals, but I'm not going to go hunting. What am I going to hunt in Florida? Alligators? Cobras? Or the fucking pythons and shit that everyone's letting loose in the Everglades? Hello, what did I miss? You missed a shitload. The best diet is one you will stick with. Damn straight. Silly gamer, fasting. Would you go into ketosis on the carnivore diet? I don't know. Because you're getting a lot of protein. you might, because people go in and out of ketosis too. That's a big misconception. It's not like you're in and you're in permanently. Like your body will fluctuate. Your body is always using, one thing I can tell you is your body is always utilizing protein, fat, and carbs. So if you're eating all those, it's not that you're only using carbs for energy. You're only using fat. You're only using protein. You'll probably get 5 to 10% of your energy from protein. Your body breaks down the protein to amino acids and uses gluconeogenesis to actually put the amino acids together to form glucose. It's just not ideal for your body. It's not an optimal way for your body to create glucose. Your body is more likely, or it would prefer, to take carbohydrates, break it down, boom, glucose is right there. That's why carbohydrates are the preferred source of energy for high intense activity. Fat, on the other hand, fat oxidation, you're going to get more calories for the volume of fat that you're consuming. That's why you're more satisfied. That's why when you're doing things like ketosis or intermittent fasting, you won't be quite as hungry because blood ketones, you'll get more energy from the fat that you're consuming. So a lot of you that do a high fat diet or that you're doing keto, you'll notice that when you don't have food, you're not starving right away because you're not on that insulin roller coaster. When you don't have sugar or you have sugar, your body releases a lot of insulin and then you have that drop. You don't have that kind of up and down spike. I just don't prefer keto personally for the weight training. I feel like it didn't feel great. I didn't feel optimal. However, I do have a high fat diet, but I love my carbs. I don't do a ton. I do a high fat. I probably do like maybe, I'm just guesstimating, maybe 50% fat, 50, 60, 50. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't calculated in a long time. Maybe I will someday. I always say that, I'm going to track it and be like, everyone's like, yeah, cool. I forget. It's just not something that I keep right in the front of my brain. Fish, fruit, veg, fruit, fish, and some dairy. That's me. Danny, I like to eat a combination of animal proteins, vegetables, sweet potatoes, and occasional brown rice. Ooh, I don't like brown rice. You like it, Danny? Obviously you do. Jessica, rice and sweet beets. Sweet beets or sweet peats? Because I know beets are sweet. Eggs, cheese, almond milk, frozen fruit, oatmeal, grass-fed butter, fish, shrimp, and chicken. Sounds like real food to me. Holly, I just don't eat grains, gluten, nightshades, legumes, and dairy. I just don't eat everything. Well, that's like an elimination diet. So you're pretty much on an elimination diet, huh? I am yet to actually test most of these things, but I just feel so good since I've cut them out. That's another thing. I'm pretty much right there with you. I don't eat legumes. I don't consume dairy often, if at all. Maybe some cheese now and again, a little bit, but I know certain kinds don't bother me, but it's not consistent. Let's see. Gluten and grains, I avoid. And when I say avoid, it's not like, why is it so bad? I just don't eat them. And I feel great with white rice or sweet potatoes. I just feel great with those. I don't need those things. It's not something that my body is missing. I have never once been like, I wish I had that. Nope. No, I feel good. Silver's beets, veggies, fruit, and meat, trying to cut out as much processed food as possible. Good shit. Sorry, LOL. I'm just fucking with you, Ren. I'm fucking with you. Protein, green veggies, and nuts. Crystal, you're eating protein, green veggies, and nuts. Well, what kind of protein, dear? What kind of protein are you eating? That's vague. You're getting protein in vegetables, too. I'm on the low-fat, control my IBS diet. Have you considered bone broth for your gut? That's really good for IBS. I get a lot of feedback from people that really kind of fix their IBS with bone broth and repairing their gut biome. Oh, I see. So plant-based means vegan, but you're not like hardcore vegan. So if you eat a vegan diet, an actual vegan is someone who won't wear leather or use cosmetics used on animals. Okay, so vegan is like, I'm not touching anything that came from an animal. Plant-based is, I'm not eating animal products. That makes sense. Yeah, vegan's more of a moral thing, I guess. Plant-based is, okay, I'm doing it for health. Would that be fair to say? Plant-based is doing it for health. Vegan is almost like a religion in that sense. Well, what I don't like about that is when I don't like when vegans force themselves to be vegans. I've said that, I've talked about this a lot recently on my podcast, where people try to force veganism into health rather than, okay, look, you're sickly. You're not healthy. You're not maintaining a healthy weight. You look like fucking death. Maybe veganism is not for you. Maybe being a vegan is not the answer because you look like fucking dog shit. You're just fucking look like you're dying. So I do understand you want to save the animals, you want to do that, but Do you hate humans? Do you hate yourself because you're punishing yourself? Some people really just look fucking ill. Oh, Meredith is a breatharian. Good for you. Good for you. Suck down that nitrogen. Make some fucking nitrogen gains. Aaron, what up, dude? Grass-fed beef, wild game, and seafood with tons of veggies and some fruit. It sounds kind of like my diet, pretty much. Have you ever had alligator? I have not, but I heard it tastes like chicken. Venison, fish, all veggies, rice, coconut milk, and fruits. Delicious. Oh, it does. Holly just said that. Crocodile tastes like chicken. Us Aussies eat them. I haven't seen it on the menu. In Florida, I'm sure they have it, but I just never came across the opportunity. I don't look for it. Nikki, what up, beesh? I eat fish, poultry, lamb, and grass-fed beef, fresh fruit and veggies, dairy-free, gluten-free, but mostly fish, fruit, and veggies. And also organic cage-free eggs. I still eat dairy, but I do Greek yogurt and the less processed cheeses, not much else. Is it okay to eat tuna daily, i.e. mercury? I wouldn't. A lot of the cans probably are lined with BPA, and I used to eat tuna when I was a fucking broke college student, but I don't know. These days, I would really look for a better fish. I would go after like anchovies or sardines. That would be a better choice in my opinion. Like sustainably raised sardines. You get wild sardines, and that's a more, I guess, specific taste, but you'll get a lot of omega-3s. You get a lot of healthy components with sardines. So in my opinion, just fucking get used to the taste because it's better for you. And that's my experience. How do you feel, Danny? I've been taking your advice and cutting the brown rice out more so and eating more sweet potatoes. What do you think about it? How do you like it? I like sweet potatoes too. I like them. Is store-bought bone broth okay? I think some might be okay. There are certain companies. I like to make it myself. I just put a new pot on. Let's see, I did it last night, so tomorrow I'll probably be done at least tomorrow night, maybe the next night, 48 to 72 hours. Vegan CrossFit is the only way. If you want results, fam, you got to be a vegan CrossFitter. Fuck you, Sean. Stop trolling my channel. Stop trolling the podcast. Vegan CrossFit. I have that post. I need to dig that post up. There's the only, I'm gonna screenshot that. I'm gonna throw that back today. I'm gonna search for it on my Instagram. There's nothing more annoying than a vegan CrossFitter, and then I said like go in the comments. I'm like, ready, fight. Nothing more annoying than a vegan CrossFitter. I don't think even CrossFitters would deny that because vegans are annoying. CrossFitters are also annoying, but I accept them. Anyway, it's fine. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do with your fitness. I'm so much more lax now in terms of, I still have my opinions, of course, but if you're going to do CrossFit, you're going to do it anyway, whether or not I say so or not. If you're going to be a vegan, you're going to be a vegan, whether I say so or not. You already made that decision. My point is you need to approach your nutrition from that neutral standpoint. Approach it from an elimination. Approach it from that center. Start here. Start at zero and then branch out. And if your elimination, if your trial and error, if your testing leads you to being a vegan, a carnivore, and this, that, then guess what? It led you there. And now you know that works for you because you use trial and error. But some people just jump right in. Well, if you're eating fucking processed foods and shit your whole life, then you go all of a sudden to raw vegan, you're going to feel like fucking dog shit for a while. You're going to have all sorts of indigestion. Like you just can't switch like that. Your body isn't prepared to digest all that fiber and cellulose and all that stuff. The look. That reminds me, I need another bag of spinach. I have no food. Since I came back because I went away for a few days, as you all know. And when you go away for a trip, obviously you wean down. I came back and I'm like, oh, I still didn't go to the store. So I'm going to go do legs. And then I'm going to go to Publix supermarket and get some fucking food because I got nothing. Like my meal was, I had some rice that was still good. I just had to thaw some meat. I've heard of the vertical diet. I do not know the details on Instagram. 8man99. I just don't get how vegans don't see the damage mass farming in crops does to animals. Grow your own shit. Yeah, if you're a vegan, you really have to grow your own stuff and do your own thing if you really want it to be that pure. You're killing people and things are dying all the fucking time. Humans are dying every day. When you farm, you're killing so many creatures that you can't stop it. Death is a part of life. You're not going to save everyone. What happens if what happens if everyone just stops eating animals? Guess what's going to happen? We're going to have to fucking hunt them. They're going to be overrunning they're going to overrun the country. You're going to have fucking, exaggeration, elephants walking across the street. I mean, that's why we have to population control. I guess humans have population control because we're killing off everyone with fucking fast food and medication. But there's that circle of life. Come on, The Lion King just came out. You guys know the circle of life. Come on. Anyone see that movie? You're not going to catch me dead watching the fucking Lion King. You know what happens. You know what fucking happens. The same shit. It's a fucking copy. It's a carbon copy. Fuck out of here. Money grab. Don't be a sucker. Don't be a fucking sucker. Don't be a sucker and go watch a remake of the same goddamn thing. Don't be a sucker. Some of you have kids and you're screwed, but don't be a jabroni. Don't be a jabroni. Sean, here in Nebraska, we have so many deer you could feed most of the country. Mike, I live in Indiana, and I live right in the middle of 200 acres of protected land. The deer here are crazy because you can't hunt them. Yeah, they fucking breed like crazy. Yeah, all the live action. They just want to make more money. Money. Death is a part of life. Yeah, death is a part of it. Man can't eat without something dying. Something's going to die. Apart from eating air or dust. Well, you could always be a breatharian. You could always do that, fam. You could always be a breatharian. Oh, no, remakes. Yeah, I know. We're going to go off the Little Mermaid. Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't done an episode. We can talk about The Little Mermaid in one of these episodes. Actually, we might talk about it on Monday. Special guest. I'll tell you soon. But I think, man, they're doing the Black Little Mermaid. I think black people should be insulted by that. Don't patronize me. Don't you want my money that badly? How desperate are you to get my coin? Get the fuck out of here. I'm all fine with ditching racism and all that shit, but get the fuck out of here. Why don't you make a new story? Make a new movie. Make a new movie with... Why does it have to be a remake of the same one? It's insulting. I think it's insulting. I know a lot of people like it, but I think I'm like, you're missing the point. They just want your fucking money. They're not trying to be progressive. They just want you to fucking go see the movie. That's how I see it. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with having black characters. Nothing wrong with that. But I mean, don't fucking put that in my face and change the actual fucking movie. Come on. I'm not stupid. I know what you're doing, you idiot. I know what you're fucking doing. Yeah, right. Let's argue about the race of a chick that's half fish. I know. Well, they're making a live action, right? So it's going to be a person who's... Look, every remake, Ghostbusters, every remake where they're taking... And look, the proof is in the pudding. Every time they make a movie, every time, we'll end with this. Every time they make a movie where it was like a big blockbuster, like Ghostbusters or something, where they take the men and they just swap it out for women. Everyone's like, I know what you're doing. You can't just fucking... I mean, I know what you're trying to do. We know what you're... The audience is not fucking stupid. I think it's insulting. It has nothing to do with female characters being in a leading role. There are tons of movies with amazing female leads, but there are movies that were made, they're not just fucking copies. Oh, this is a dude movie. Let's make it a chick movie now. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, jabroni. Meredith, Michelle outed you on Insta, apparently. She outed me? She outed me? She told everyone that I'm swole? Is that right? Did she post that in her story? Should I like announce that now? Damn, I was going to make sure, I was going to confirm it, but I guess we're still on then. Let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Whoa, yeah. Oh, gotta turn that down so we don't get fucking kicked off. Where'd she out me? She outed me for being swole? Anyway. She did? Where? I don't see that. Where'd she out me? Did I miss that the other day? I was in her story or something? Should I do it? Oh, should do an Apocalypse Now with all chicks. Oh God, yeah. Dun 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 dun. Actually, I will talk about that now. All right, I don't see where she outed me. Maybe I missed it in her story. Anyway, yeah. Another fire episode. Monday's gonna be great. Monday's gonna be great. So I will put this out here that on Monday, Michelle McDaniel from My Thoughts will. Oh, on her post, which one? I don't see it. I don't see it. Michelle from My Thoughts May Offend You. My Thoughts Will Offend You on YouTube. She's going to be on the podcast on Monday. So we're going to fucking smash that out. So it's going to be fucking awesome. Oh, here we go. I'll be on Swolenormous, Papa Swolio's podcast, 11 a.m. Pacific time Monday. Already told him I don't want any nuts on my chin. I'm lying. I didn't tell him that. Is she well, maybe she's not a vegan. If she's a carnivore, I won't put nuts on her chin. I don't want nuts on her chin. She doesn't have a choice. If you come on the podcast, you might just get. I need to get a little animation where it's like and a little sound thing like fucking thing. Well, we'll talk about all the stuff that she's been doing, and we're gonna talk about a lot of shit, So yeah, 11. So that was 11. I'll talk more about it tomorrow too. So 11 a.m. Pacific time. So Eastern time. Do the math. Come on. What time? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. Eastern time. 11 a.m. San Diego time. Her time. We'll be smashing the live cast. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what she's gonna wear? Who knows what it's gonna be? Maybe I'll wear something. Nah, I'll just put my hair down. Maybe I'll flash some knits. Bring on the nuts. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great episode. Yeah. People have been asking for that for a while. So everyone that was asking, they're saying, you should do this. I'm like, oh, maybe. We already talked about it. I just didn't want to. I don't like to talk about things unless it's absolutely confirmed, just because sometimes things come up and people get busy. So I wanted to make sure that it was legit first. So I guess she outed me. So I guess we're on. So we'll see you all Monday. But don't forget, oh, yeah. Let's see. Tomorrow is the Sunday Funday Q&A. So no matter where you're watching, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Instagram, we will be doing Q&A. So tons and tons and tons of questions tomorrow. So tomorrow, what you got for questions, fam? What you got? What you going to do? What's it going to be? So make sure you tune in live, and I'll literally be open for business. What kind of questions do you want to ask? And you can just ask them tomorrow and we'll get into it. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1170 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast. In the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thank you so much for joining me. See you tomorrow for 1171. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.